Hi, I'm Lala Rimando from Lala Moves. I received a request for a short sequence that can be done as regularly as every day to ease some lower back pains, especially if there's issues on the discs in the lumbar area. Please see your doctors. But if you are able to follow this and um, this flow is able to help ease some of the aches in that area, why not? Okay, so let's start sitting down. Maybe if doing this easy pose, this is called the easy pose. If crossing your legs in front of you is difficult, for you to keep a long and straight spine, you can sit on a block or blocks, or maybe start with sitting on a chair. We'll prioritize the spine. Okay, so it doesn't matter really how you look in the pose, as long as you can feel that you can sit on your sit bones and you can lengthen the crown of your head toward the ceiling. Okay, so I stay on my glutes, on my bum. Okay, so find a position where you can comfortably keep your spine long and straight. Let's start with training our gaze down and forward. Maybe you could like to focus on one area in front of you, or you may even close your eyes. Okay, start to take deep inhales and exhales. Every time you inhale, think of sending that breath toward your belly as if you're trying to expand your midsection. And when you exhale, think of sending the belly to the spine as if you want to contract everything in your belly area. Maybe that visual of um, trying to fit into a really tight jeans and you want to contract everything in is a good guide on what to do when you exhale. Let's go for a couple of rounds and inhales and exhales. Training ourselves to tighten that corset in the mid body as we exhale. Inhale to expand and exhale to contract. All right. Let's move on to lying on our backs. Okay. From here, let's reorient ourselves with the spine. Okay. So your shoulders, your mid back, maybe your back ribs, and your hips are pressing on the mat, but your lower back has a natural arch. Okay. To flatten the lower back, let's think of rotating our pelvis so we can press our lower back against the mat. Now let's release that. Very small movements. You can hardly see it, but you can feel it. One more time. When we exhale, flatten the back. Send the belly to the spine, corset tightening. And inhale, just release and allow the natural arch of the lower back to happen. One more time. Take an inhale and exhale, belly to the spine. Okay. Let's bring both feet up to tabletop. Okay. Now, send the belly to the spine already. And maybe your hands are alongside your body and you can press the mat for balance. You can stay here for a while just to Notice if your lower back is arching or imprinted on the mat. For beginners, you may want to imprint it. If that helps you, send the belly to the spine. Let's try to keep the shape of the knee in 90-90 as we send the toes to the mat. Doesn't have to be touching the mat. If it's difficult and your lower back starts arching, it doesn't have to go all the way to the mat. As long as you feel that the effort of sending your foot away from you, from the torso, activates your core. And we'll do that a couple of times. Going one foot, other foot down. Really using your exhales to keep your torso engaged. Okay. When you're moving your lower body, you're challenging your lower core body muscles. So really use your breath to engage your core. Exhale for the effort. Inhale to come up. Maybe do this a couple of times. And when you've had enough, just relax. Let's move on with this time challenging the upper core muscles. But in the next sequences, I'd like you to focus this time not just on the core, but on the ribs. If the ribs start to splay out, meaning they try to go toward the ceiling, creating an arch in the back, in the lower back, try to keep the ribs back on the mat. Okay. So the goal is not to look good, but to get to know our core and engage our core better. So both hands toward the ceiling. Let's start with the right hand. Okay. Keeping the core engaged, bring one hand overhead. It doesn't have to be too low as long as you're keeping your ribs in and your core engaged. And return. We'll go for the other hand now. Inhale. Sorry, this is an exhale. And inhale to come back. We can do both hands now. Inhale. And exhale, belly to the spine. Take an inhale. And exhale, return. We'll do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Ribs not flaring out. Take an inhale. And exhale, return. Okay, now let's try to challenge our body more, our core actually, some more by moving both our hands and legs, the limbs. So if you notice, we're focusing on our core, but actually we're moving the extremities to get more acquainted with our core so that we can train it and strengthen it. Okay, inhale, exhale. Let's move the opposite hand and opposite arm. Okay, so if you move your right foot down, try to send the opposite arm, the left arm, to the back, overhead. And exhale, come back. Take an inhale. Exhale, engage the core as you send opposite arm, opposite hand away from each other. Take an inhale and exhale, return. Take an inhale when your hands and your feet are here and exhale as you extend them out. Take an inhale to hold and exhale to return. We'll do that also on the other side. Inhale. Exhale, extend with control. Inhale to hold. And exhale to come back. One last inhale, exhale with control, inhale to hold, and exhale to come back. Okay, inhale, exhale, inhale to hold, exhale, return. And just allow your legs and your hands to rest for a while. And flip over to your belly, and we'll just do some back bends. Okay, so we do some back bends to strengthen the back body muscles because we don't use them that much in our daily lives. We use that as well to protect the spine because if the front body muscles are very strong but the back bodies are weak, they may make the spine unstable. So as we back bend, we're just going to do a simple cobra. Okay, we need our lower body to be our anchor as we send our upper body higher and off the mat. We'll do that by pressing all 10 toes on the mat. Then energize the thighs and the calves. We engage those muscles. Now send the belly to the spine. Okay, then think of squeezing the shoulder blades in to lift your chest off the mat. So it's your back muscles, back upper muscles that are doing the work. Okay, it's not your head that's cranking up. Think of length from the tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. And exhale, return. Just rest for a while. We'll do that a couple more times. Okay, take an inhale. Start to press already your toenails against the floor. Activate your thighs. Send the belly to the spine. Squeeze the shoulder blades in and lift the chest off the mat. Long spine from the tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. And exhale, return. We'll do that one last time. So think of your hands as this is an accessory. You're not pushing, you're not pulling. Take an inhale. Nails against the floor. Thighs active. Belly to the spine. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades in. Lift the chest off the mat. Okay, your hands are really just soft. You may even lift them up to work your core, your back muscles even more, or be on your fingertips. Take an inhale and exhale, return. Now push yourself up to child's pose. You may want the different ways to do child's pose is that you can keep your knees together or apart. And if this is difficult for some, you may even use a pillow in between your thighs and calves. If this is difficult, or if your forehead does not touch the mat, you can even use a block or a pillow to rest your forehead on. Your hands can be forward or alongside your body, whichever is most comfortable for you. In child's pose, you're listening to your breath. This is a closed pose. You can hear your inhales and your exhales. Okay. Then we're going to move on to puppy pose. Send your knees together. Your pillows may still be here. And send your hands in front or overhead. Then crawl your hands forward to bring your hips almost on top of your knees. Okay. Again, option to use a block to rest your forehead on, and maybe even rest your forearms on the floor, on the mat, or send or activate them. Lift your forearms off the mat, your elbows off the mat. The goal of this pose is to feel the stretch on your front body and even your lower back. And some of you might even feel a stretch in your side body. Stay here for a couple of breaths. when you've had enough, come back to child's pose and press yourself up to sitting position. Okay. You may, let's go back to seated. Any which way, you can cross your legs in front of you, sit on the block, be on a chair, as long as your spine is long and straight. Okay. Again, bring your gaze in front or close your eyes. We'll just take 3 cleansing breaths. Inhale, bring your hands up, all the way up. And exhale your hands down. Inhale. And exhale, release. Inhale. Now touch the palms together. Bring them to the heart center. And namaste. Thank you for joining me. Come back again for the next round. Bye.